underage boy?
Oh, no, I ain't come looking for no little boys. I ain't got no milk, no cookies, nothing. I came looking for man's butt.
I know this guy. He is crazy. He got a chemical imbalance or something.
I'm just saying, man, you look much taller in the videos.
Do you hear what I'm saying to you? That a rage, a holy, we're both gonna die.
What happened to I don't fear no man but God?
Let's get to the point. Now, some people see this so-called mountain of evidence, these videotapes.
Yo, there's this wild theory making the rounds online that the Boondocks wasn't just clowning Diddy for the culture. They were actually trying to warn us. With all the heat Diddy's facing right now in court and certain rapper names being dropped left and right for allegedly being part of Diddy's homo thugs crew, fans are starting to revisit legendary Boondocks episodes. And it really looks like they were trying to tell us something the whole time. And here's the thing. Some people think if you only focus on the Diddy angle, you're missing the whole plot. They believe the Boondocks was calling out the entire industry. All the shady stuff that goes down behind the scenes, the power plays, the compromises. So let's jump into the world of the Boondocks and break down all the crazy connections fans are seeing between the show's characters and the wild things coming out about Diddy.
Man's butt? Excuse me?
Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But see, I calls you Chris Hansen. I watch your TV show all the time. So you can go ahead and bring them cameras and them police is waiting outside. It don't make me no difference.
Okay, let's start with the most obvious example of Frederick, aka Gangstalicious. Gangstalicious is a fictional rapper and a recurring character in the Boondocks. On the surface, he presents himself as a hardcore, thugged out rapper. He's tough, violent, and always pushing that gangsta image in public. Basically, everything mainstream hip-hop was idolizing in the early 2000s. But Gangstalicious is a rapper with a secret. He's a closeted gay man, and he's terrified that the truth will ruin his career.
Oh, man. I can't believe this. I was gonna be able to pay my car note this month.
I knew it. I always had a feeling about that dude.
Oh, man. What are we supposed to do now? This gay gonna be here in an hour.
Oh, no. We can't with this song now. I mean, if everyone, think he a homo, we get on the track with him, we gonna be homos by association, dog.
Gangstalicious also used to have a low-key relationship with a gangster named Lincoln, but things went bad. Lincoln ended up trying to kill him on tour after feeling betrayed. Now, if we're going with the theory that Gangstalicious is based on Diddy, who do you think Lincoln, his secret lover turned enemy, represents? Well, fans have speculated a lot about this, and different names keep coming up like Biggie, Mace, Shine, and Christopher Williams. In Biggie's case, rumors that his relationship with Diddy might have been more than just business have been around forever. And while nothing's ever been confirmed, some insiders claimed Diddy would often treat Biggie like his girlfriend.
Like I say, Jesus.
And next question is...
Now, as for Mace and Shine, those same rumors have been following them too, but there's no solid proof that they were doing anything more than business with Diddy. But Christopher Williams, well, that's where things get messy. Several people claimed they actually caught Christopher and Diddy making out right in Diddy's office and at the Bad Boy studio. One of these people is Jaguar Wright, who claimed that a woman who worked as a lawyer at Bad Boy told her she walked in on Christopher and Diddy, and allegedly Christopher was on his knees.
It was a young woman, beautiful woman. She's a lawyer, or at least she was. She used to be an entertainment lawyer. I'm not going to say her name. The story is enough. She witnessed something. She witnessed something that was disturbing to her. But what was really disturbing to her was the conversation that she had with Diddy after. See, Christopher Williams, I don't know. I guess he wanted to sign. I don't know what happened. But Puff was supposed to be giving him a demo deal, and he gave him a demo deal, and I guess it was supposed to turn into an album deal, which that never happened. But this young woman walked in to get approval on some paperwork, see. And when she walked in, the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in. And when she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing fellatio on Puff. Now, from what she said to me, it was disturbing because, they didn't stop. She just walked out, and she just kept her head down at the office the rest of the day, I believe it was. And I don't think it was at the end of business day that day, but I think it was the following day. He came into her office and was like, yeah, so you came in there, so what? What you gonna do? You wanna say something? And she was like, oh no, she was like, I just don't understand why you left the door unlocked. If you were in there doing that, why would you leave the door unlocked? He said, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do in my building. And I just don't know. He was like, it's power, see? I can make a man, he said, if I can make a man suck my dick, I can make people do anything for money.
Now, of course, Christopher Williams later denied this, and he kind of turned it into this whole thing about him being a straight man.
One person in the world alleges that I gave Puffy to get a record deal. Anybody who knows me knows that is ridiculous. If I were gay, I would be openly gay. I have friends who are just coming out the feds right now from when I first released the record, who would like to do nothing more than to show her who the fuck I really am. But I'm like, bro, she's hurting. I'm praying for her. If I'm really solid, how can what she say affect me?
But as Jaguar pointed out, this wasn't really about sexuality for Diddy. It was about power and domination. And she wasn't saying that Christopher is gay. She was implying that he was desperate for that record deal and he made a business decision. So those are two different things. But let's go back to the story of Gangstalicious. So at one point, he bragged on live TV about putting hands on a record label executive on the set of a music video, which got him arrested right then and there.
Ironically, despite the hip-hop community being the driving force behind the Stop Snitching movement, rappers tend to snitch on themselves a lot. In 2000, rapper Gangstalicious reported record executive Johnny Guinness with a tennis racket and a bottle of Hennessy on the set of a music video. Guinness refused to cooperate with authorities, but the next day, Gangstalicious made an appearance on MTV's TRF.
Hold up. Drop the beat. Gangstalicious, my mind's too vicious. EMC's all day, delicious. My whole crew up in this, no doubt we gon' win this. Smack up your moms like I smacked Johnny Guinness. 3 o'clock yesterday, I don't care what they say. Suckers really shouldn't play, I hit them with the Hennessy.
And this plotline mirrors the real-world allegations tied to Diddy, specifically the 1999 incident involving Steve Stoute, a longtime executive at Interscope. The incident occurred over Nas's Hate Me Now video, and the drama started when Diddy changed his mind about being shown nailed to a cross like Jesus, even though it was his idea to begin with. Stoute didn't want to cut the scene because he'd already dropped $14K on it, and that's when things popped off. According to reports from the National Enquirer and the police, Diddy showed up at Stoute's office with 2 bodyguards and brutally attacked him because the scene stayed in. Stoute later told The Times, "One minute I'm in the middle of a meeting, and the next minute I'm down on the floor and Puffy and his guys are kicking and pounding me. One of them picks up a chair and throws it at me. Then Puffy throws my desk over and they just walk out like nothing happened. My jaw and my head were all swollen. It was a traumatic experience, and in the middle of it, I didn't know exactly how to feel. I was upset, embarrassed, scared, angry. As far as I'm concerned, this was an attempt on my life. The only reason I'm not dead is because they missed." But there's another wild connection between Gangstalicious and Diddy's real life that we can't ignore. So in the Boondocks, Gangstalicious fakes a relationship with a hip-hop video vixen named Jessica Ethelberg. But things blow up when she exposes him in a juicy tell-all book. Now here's where it gets interesting. A lot of fans think Jessica was loosely inspired by Kim Porter, Diddy's late ex. Kim started out as a model and hip-hop video girl too, showing up in videos like Heavy D's Truthful and Big Daddy Kane's Smooth Operator. But the most chilling parallel between Jessica in Boondocks and Kim Porter is the rumor that Kim was writing a tell-all book about Diddy, and allegedly she was close to getting it published before her untimely death in 2018. And as you probably know, there's been a lot of speculation over the years that Diddy might have had something to do with Kim's passing. Some sources even alleged that on the day she died, Diddy showed up before the coroner and took all her electronics, including her phone and a laptop that allegedly had the manuscript for her tell-all book.
Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter phone is? And they know they had iPhones. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone? Because everything that came in that phone is text, and you know your iPhone find my phone. Nobody tried to find the phone? I would love for her son, who has all the rights, to go to and get all the stuff out the clouds. Her last text, who she calling, who she spoke to, who called her, where was the last place her phone was at before it was destroyed and cut off. I feel that it was some foul play in her death. A lot of foul play. Why would you take somebody's phone? Why would you take somebody's tablet or her computer? It was some foul play.
Now, it's possible that Jessica from the Boondocks was partly based on video vixen turned author Corinne Superhead Steffens, because Corinne actually dropped multiple books spilling behind the scenes secrets about the industry. And get this, Corinne once told Wendy Williams that she actually walked in on 2 male music executives getting it in.
You walked in on record executives having gay or one executive having gay man. Mm-hmm. You don't mention that person's name. Can we talk about what record label?
No. That'll give it away. That'll give it away. But
what letter does it start with?
Not even. That'll give it away.
Let's continue with the problems. There was a party in Miami, and you showed up with Exhibit, and it was Puffy was at the party, or it was his party.
It was his party.
And when he saw you come in, it was like he saw a ghost, and he immediately asked you why you were there. He thought that you were there to blow up his spot. He then pulled Exhibit aside and asked Exhibit to get you out of the party.
And there's even a scene in the Boondocks where Jessica's on a talk show reading from her book, putting Gangstalicious on blast and calling him out for being gay.
We are back with our guest Jessica Ethelberg, also known as Wonder Cheeks, reading excerpts from her amazing new best-selling book, The Private Lives of Superstar Rappers.
Of all the rappers I met during those years, I loved Gangstalicious the most. I called him Freddie. I wanted more than anything to give my heart to him forever, but I couldn't because he was so unbelievably gay. So unbelievably gay!
Gay?
And then, of course, there's Gangstalicious's music. One of his biggest songs is literally called Homies Over Hoes, which had Riley and his friends unknowingly singing and dancing to a song full of gay innuendos.
You see, fall back away from me. Me just in the VIP. Now bump it to the left and bump it to the right. Cause when you do the homie, do it right.
Now, back then, it just felt like a funny jab at how rappers hide stuff in their lyrics. But fast forward to now, and people are starting to look back at the Boondocks like it was low-key exposing the real deal, especially with all these rappers around Diddy who acted tough in public, but allegedly had secret relationships with men behind closed doors.
There were lots of homosexuals in hip-hop back in the 80s, too. That was what's worse, hip-hop wearing skirts or hip-hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality. So I hear what Jamar is saying, but we come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle.
See, Gangstalicious probably isn't just based on one rapper. He seems like a mashup of different artists who've all been accused of living double lives. But his obsession with keeping up that gangsta image, staying in control, and allegedly pressuring younger male artists into silence is giving exactly what people are now saying went down with Diddy. So for everyone who says the Boondocks was just for laughs, you gotta think deeper. Looking back now, that whole Gangstalicious storyline feels like it was straight up calling out the industry. Now, whether it came from real insider gossip or just some genius level satire, it basically predicted the mess we're seeing unfold right now. But let me hear your thoughts on all this. Is the Gangstalicious / Diddy connection real, or are folks just reaching? Did the Boondocks know what time it was before any of us did, or was the truth always out there and people were just too scared to say it? Drop your takes in the comments and stick around for this next video.